Hello YouTube, this is Jim coming at you again from the Gadget Fanatic, and we've got a video today about an iPhone 6 battery replacement, and this can actually be a replacement for a iPhone 6, 6 Plus. It doesn't really make any difference. But this phone here, this iPhone 6 is a phone, is a friend of mine's actually, and what happened was that there was a battery issue with the original battery, and so my friend had the battery replaced, okay, from a friend of his. He had the battery replaced, and he's still having some issues with the battery itself. He tried to recalibrate the battery, and what's happening is that he charges the phone, and it'll say 100%, and then after about, I don't know, a couple of hours or so, the battery shows 10%, 12%, 13% battery left on the phone. And so there might be still something wrong with the phone. Now, one thing that concerned me is that when he showed me the phone, he wasn't sure if it was repaired correctly or not, or what kind of a battery was put in the phone. And what he showed me was was this battery. This is the battery that was actually in the phone, okay, the original battery that was in the phone. And if you can see the back of it here, you see where it's all torn, everything? It's all torn on the back side of it. This leads me to believe that what happened was that when the battery was actually removed, the battery was pried out. It was pried out, okay, instead of actually using and taking the adhesive off of the battery like it's supposed to be done. You peel this adhesive off of the underside of the battery, and then the battery will just come right out. So this was pried out, so it wasn't actually removed correctly. It's just, it's something I'll show you when I do the video about how to actually do it correctly. But I haven't been in the phone yet, so your guess is as good as mine as far as how it was done. But we'll take the battery out and see exactly what was done in regards to the replacement of the battery here. And then I can tell you exactly what was done correctly or what was done incorrectly. So anyway, let's go and give it a shot, and let's see exactly what's inside of this thing, and let's see if we can make a repair and replace this battery. Okay, so with that being said, hey, let's give it a shot. All right, here we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's the phone here. We're all ready to go ahead and do this repair. The front of the screen, as you can tell, is a little bit dirty, okay? So what we want to do is go ahead and clean that up first, okay? We want to go ahead and clean the phone. And the reason why I want to go ahead and clean that first is the fact that I need to use this suction cup here, okay? That will attach to the front of the phone, or to the front glass of the phone, okay? And I need to make sure that we get all the oily, sticky stuff or whatever it is off the front of the phone. So we can go ahead and make sure that we get a nice solid contact with the glass. And another thing too, to tell you about this phone, which I'm going to do, is the screen protector on this phone is pretty beat up. It's you can tell there's a lot of scratches and stuff. You can see up here it's scratched up pretty good. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do another video probably after this one, and show you how to do a quick replacement of the screen protector using what's called the hinge method. And it's just an easy way for me to replace the screen. It's instead of trying to line up everything like this, you know, correctly by like placing it over the top of the phone like this, okay? I got another method that's pretty easy, so I'll go ahead and do that in another video. But in regards to this one here, there's two pentalobe screws here on the bottom of the phone, so we need to go ahead and get those out. Okay, I always have like a little, if you notice up here, I have my little paper here, okay, just so I don't lose the screws or anything like that. I just organize it so it's very easy to find the screws and replace them. Certainly you don't want to lose any of the screws. I do have extra pentalobe screws, but if you don't happen to have extra pentalobe screws and you happen to lose one, I don't know if you ever dropped a pentalobe screw on a carpet. Good luck trying to find that. Let me tell you, it's not too fun. So anyway, with that being said, we'll go ahead and take the two pentalobe screws off the bottom. As you see, they're already gone, okay? And then we go ahead and suction this here, and then as you pull up here, you'll see that a little gap will form right here under the phone. A little gap. See that little gap right there? A little gap right there. Okay, will form, and then you want to get your little tool in here. Be careful with it now. Get your tool in here and just pry up a little bit. Just pry up a little bit. Okay, and try to get in there. Don't pry in too deeply because of the fact that you don't want to damage any of the the connectors underneath. So you'll feel it sort of give way. Okay, you'll feel it give way, and as you can see right here, a gap is already opened on the bottom. Okay, it's already open on the bottom here. See the little gap that's already open. And so I use a little pry tool like this just to get underneath of it, underneath the phone, and just pry up a little bit. Like I said, don't force it. Take your time with it, because if you happen to force it or pull it up too hard and you crack the glass or damage the LCD in any way, then you have to replace the glass, and that's something you certainly don't want to do, because that'll make it for a much more costly repair if you happen to break the glass. Okay, so there it is. Basically, it's up now. As you can see, I've got it up. All right, now what you want to do is, there's a small hinge that's up here, like a little tab up here. So you don't want to just pull up on the phone like this, or pull up on the glass. Okay, you want to pull down a little bit, pull down a bit, and you'll see a gap opening up here. Pull down a bit, and then you will, whoops, I turned the phone on, unfortunately. Let's go ahead. I'll have to go ahead and turn the phone. Sometimes that happens, unfortunately. But anyway, just go ahead and pull down, and you can see a little gap will form right up here. Okay, and then once you get that separated, okay, there it is. It comes out. And see that little tab? It's right there. See that little tab right there? That's the little tab I'm talking about. Okay, so that's something you certainly don't want to break if you try to pull up. And that's the reason why when you try to remove the front cover of the phone, okay, what you want to make sure you don't pry from the top, because it's very possible that you'll break that tab. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So just another reminder about what to do and what not to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this off again, so we're all set. Okay, so with that being said, now you want to just go up about a 90-degree angle. Okay, about a 90-degree angle. Okay, when you're doing this repair, there's no need to go up any further than the 90 degrees, because the reason why is because of the fact that you do not want to break or damage any of the connectors, okay, that attach to the motherboard here. You don't want to damage any of these connectors that are up here that obviously attach to the LCD and also to the front-facing camera. So anyway, what you want to do now is have to go ahead and change my tool. So I have a Phillips head tip on it. Okay, and these are the screws that you'll be removing all up in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's go ahead and remove these here, and of course I'm going to place them on my little paper that I have. Interesting too. Here's another one I'm going to remove here. I have a magnetic tip on this, which makes it easier to remove. Oddly enough, there is a screw here that wasn't attached at all. Very interesting. Was not attached at all. So that was not secured properly on this upper hole here. So okay, well, thank goodness it didn't get lost in the phone anyway. So okay, here we go with that. Now we got this one here to remove, and all these screws come out rather easily. There's nothing really to it. Okay, in regards to these. Now one of these is not magnetized, and I think that might be this one here. This is a longer screw. If you notice, this screw is a little bit longer. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That one's a little bit longer. So we're just going to go ahead and get it off of my tab. Okay, and I've got my little tool here too. Make sure I got everything set. Okay, alright. So then there's one here in the middle. Take this one out as well. and that comes right out. Okay, that one goes in the center, and I organize it. If you can tell right up here, see with my paper here, I just organize all the screws so they're in the right place, or in the order that I took them out. This one here actually is in the middle. This one here is on the outside. Okay, so I just organize them up here. I organize it so it's when I put it back, it'll be easy to do. Okay, that takes care of that. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take this cover off. Okay, there's the cover. Take that cover off. Put that aside. I'll put it up on top where I have my paper up there. Okay, and then what you want to do is you just want to go ahead and carefully remove these connectors. Okay, there's one connector there. There's another connector here. Okay, and there's actually another connector here. Okay, there. There's actually 4 tabs that you'll need to remove. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so as you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and they're all in order, so there's no way you can make a mistake about which goes where. If you look down here, you see it's all in order. Okay, it's all in order. So there's no way you can really make a mistake as far as which goes where. Okay, it should be pretty obvious. Okay, so and then like I said, this right here is where you have to be careful about not extending the top over 90 degrees. Otherwise, you could break this this cable here. If you break the cable, then you'll have to replace the screen, and you certainly don't want to do that. So there it is. Put that aside for now. Okay, we're all good to go with that. Put that aside. Okay, so now what you want to do is this. You want to go ahead and remove the battery cover here. Okay, this one here. Put that screw aside there and put it on a different pad. Take this off here. And there we go. Get that one off as well. There. That's the one favorable thing about having a magnetic tip. You know, it just comes right off. You don't have to worry about losing the screws or trying to pry the screws up. So that's that. And then just go and take this cover off here. Okay. We'll take that cover off and put that aside as well. So we're all set. Go and organize my screws so I have them all set like that. Very important, like I said, to make sure that you organize and put the screws in a place where you have them in the right order, so that it's very easy just to replace. Sometimes you have screws that are different sizes and different depths, and so you have to make sure that you put those aside in the correct order. So that takes care of that. Just go ahead and pry this up right here. Okay, that goes ahead and releases the battery cable like that. Now, here's where we're going to see what's going on. On a conventional iPhone battery, you'll have these tabs that are right down here. Okay, and you actually pry up on the tab, okay, or you peel up on the little tabs like this, and then you pull the adhesive away from the battery. You pull the adhesive away from the battery. As you can tell here, there is no such thing. And like I said, this is the actual adhesive. This is what should be on the underside of the phone, okay? And these little parts here, they go up around the phone and they come up on this side. So all you got to do is you pull these tabs out away from the phone like this, and then the battery comes right out. So right now, as you can tell, I don't have that luxury of having any tabs because I have a feeling that the battery was pried out before and not done with pulling the tabs out. For some reason, I guess whoever did it before forgot to pull the tabs out or something like that, or didn't understand how to do it right, and they just yanked the battery out of the phone. So this might be a little bit harder to get out. We'll see how it goes here. I'm not sure. Be very careful too if you ever have to do a repair like this. We have to pry the battery out like this. Make sure you don't damage anything. Okay. So sometimes I do use a heat gun to soften the adhesive. Okay. But on this one, let me see if I can do it without doing that. Looks like it's coming out. Let's see what's underneath here. Like I said, this is the one. Remember, like I said, this is the original battery. You see how they took it out? and it's all bent as well. It's all bent. You see this right here? And this is obviously shows signs of someone prying it out instead of doing it the proper way by taking the adhesive tabs out. See this right here? So this is not the good way to do it. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and see if we can get this out. And let's see what we have underneath here. Well, there you see it. Here is the battery up, and there you have it. So this is how the battery was replaced. It looks like what happened was, let's take a look here. Yeah, okay. It looks like, you see, here is the actual tabs. See these tabs here, and these should not be on the underside of the phone. Okay, they should not be in the phone. These tabs should have already been pulled away, but they were not. And as you can see from this, what they did was they placed these little this little sticky tape here. This 1mm sticky tape, and they placed it in here and left these pieces in the phone still. See? That's how that's done. Now, I suppose you could actually do it by just lining up tape like this, putting it down, and adhering the battery to the chassis of the phone. But definitely not something that I would recommend. But yeah, this is obviously it was someone did not know that you could pry these tabs out. So I'm going to try to clean it up if I can here. I don't know what happened here. Let's see if I can try to pry this out. So this was not done correctly, okay? These were left in the phone. I'm going to try to peel it out if I can. Here it goes, okay? So see what, let me show you what happens. If you do it right, let me show you. If you do it right, and you grab the tab as you're supposed to, when the battery is in the phone, so take this tape like this, watch what happens. Let's just say that the tab is on the phone, on this side of the phone, so you can pull it, okay? What happens is, you just go ahead and you go like this. See like this? It goes just like that. See like this? And this will happen underneath the battery, okay? Just like that. And that's how it comes out, just like that, okay? And so on this one here as well, the same thing. So this, yeah, so like I said, this repair was not done correctly. This wasn't done right. This is sort of a sloppy job, and that's the reason why my buddy said, hey, can you look at it and see if you can fix it up for me, or see what was done with it, or whatnot? It's like, yeah, I told me I'll take a look at it and see what you got. So, sure enough, this wasn't not done correctly. So see like this? See, if you pull it, like I said, with the battery, with the tabs on the battery correctly, this is how it should come out, just like this, okay? So, this is a cleanup of the phone as well. Cleaning up the phone as well. So I'm getting all this old adhesive off of the phone. Just pry it all out, and there it is. It's gone. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. And this here, this is also not necessary, okay? So we're going to take these out, okay? We'll take this out, and we'll go ahead and take this out as well, okay? So this is just a sort of a repair that was done sort of sloppily, okay? So there it is. Now it's all cleaned up. As you can tell, it's cleaned up. It's all good to go, okay? And it looks good, okay? So we're good to go with that, okay? So that's that. So now what we'll do is, here is the battery, okay? And I have to make sure that you remember how it gets lined up. So what happens is as you can tell, the battery connector, okay, is right here. The battery connector is right here. Okay. It goes right there. It goes right here. I'll make sure that we get this thing in there right. Let's see, hold on just a second. what you want to do is this one here, this needs to be bent just a tiny bit. It needs to be bent just a little bit in here because of the fact that I gotta get it down in here a little bit. Like this. Let's see here. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and do it this way here. I'll make sure that I get the battery there. Okay, so it's snapped in now. Okay, the battery is snapped in. I just want to make sure that I get the cable formed correctly in here. Okay, well, stick on like it's supposed to. Okay, there it is. Now we got it in there the way it's supposed to be. There it is. Okay, there. So now I had to get the bend just right in here so I could get it to go down. Okay, and it's in there now the way it's supposed to be. See, I had to get, this was flat across, okay? I had to get it bent a little bit so I could get it inside of the compartment the right way. There it is, okay? So there it is, okay? So we got it in there now, so we're good to go. There it is, okay? So that's how the battery goes in. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and we're going to go ahead and put the adhesive strips onto the phone, okay? There it is. Okay. All right. So let's take this out. Let's just take this out again. Like I said, see, you have to form this little bend right here, okay, to make sure that the battery fits in there. And it fits in there just fine. Everything is good. So let me go ahead and get this out. Again, pull the battery out, okay? And now, as you can tell, it being straight, see, I've got that bend in it now. That little bend in it here, okay, to make sure that see the bend? Okay, make sure we get it in there good. Okay, so now with that being said, what we need to do is this. We want to go ahead and put these strips, okay, towards the bottom of the phone. So these are the strips that I have purchased, and I'll put a link in the description here to show you exactly where you can get these strips, okay? Just go ahead and wipe the bottom up here a little bit, make sure we got everything set. Okay, so what you want to do then now is you want to go ahead and take this right here and just, there's two parts to it. This part here, right here, there's one section here, you peel this part away here, and you place this on the phone, and then after it's done, you'll peel this top part away, this other part away too. See, there's two different portions of this sticker, okay? So let's go ahead and peel this away like this, okay? You just peel it away, just like that, okay? What you want to do now is, you see right here, you see where the pinkish color ends here and the black starts, okay? So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put it right on, the black goes right on the edge of the phone like that, right, or right on the edge of the battery, just like this. That's how you want to do it, okay? So you place it just down like this, like I said, just so that the pinkish area is on the edge of the phone, or edge of the battery, sorry, edge of the battery, and you just place it down like this, just like this. Make sure you get it centered up real nice. You get it centered up there good. And then after you get it down on the phone, just go ahead and, there it is, okay, just like that. Good enough, just like that, okay? Just like that. That's now on the phone, okay? All right, keep saying the phone, man. I'm thinking the battery, okay? And then, as you can tell, look right here, it's right on the edge. See where the black, right? It starts here. It's right at the edge of the battery here. The black here, edge of the battery, like that, okay? So what you want to do then is you can go ahead and continue, okay? You can go continue, and see this little white portion right here, there's a sticky on there as well, okay? So that will go ahead and attach to the edge of the battery. See, on the back edge of the battery, it'll stick like that. So you just go ahead and peel it across and put it over the top like this, okay? Put it over the top like that. Make sure you press down here. Make sure that you get a good contact with the edge of the battery. just push it down like that, and then after you're done with that, okay, you can go ahead and well, first, one thing you want to do, you see these little blue tabs right here, okay? You want to go ahead and peel these away as well. See right here? This little tab here. Peel that away. Okay, and this one here, like this here, and you go ahead and peel that away, okay? These little tabs here, you peel that away. And then you want to go ahead and continue, okay? You can see right here, you see the white right here on the edge, right in here, okay? Those are to also stick them, okay? That will go on the edge, onto the battery. You just lay it down like this, okay? And this one here, you lay this one down as well like that, okay? And then now, as you can see right here, you have your tabs. Now what happens is, when you, if you want to replace the battery, okay, you pull these up, you pull these, and then you pull out. That's how you do the replacement of the battery, okay, so that you don't have this problem, okay? This is prying, you'll have this issue. You won't have this problem, okay, where you're damaging the battery, okay, if you do it this way and do it right, okay? So that's how it's done, okay? So with that being said, all you have to do now is go ahead and see this part here, okay? You want to go ahead and pull this away like this, okay? Pull this part away like that, and you're all set, okay? Now you're all set, okay? This is the last portion of it. You just pull this away and you're all good to go, okay? So now what you want to do is go ahead and line your battery up. Like I said, I already did this work here to make sure that it would fit correctly, okay? So you want to go ahead and just drop it down. Probably what you want to do first is just go ahead and place it down like that, on the edge like that, okay? Make sure it lines up real nice. Try to get that connection on there before you actually secure it, okay? Try to connect the battery first. Just connect that battery in there. Let me see here. And once the battery's connected, you'll feel it snap in there, okay? So there it is, okay? And just lay it down, just like that, okay? Lay it down like that, and you should be all good to go, okay? So there it is. The battery is now in the phone, okay? And you're good to go. This is all connected, okay? It is connected, and it is secure, okay? And like I said, if you want to ever replace the battery again, you pull these tabs up, okay? And then you just pull out, and the battery will come right out. And like I said, none of this nonsense here, okay? So, okay, with that being said, then we're all set. Let's go ahead and put the battery, let's go put the phone back together again. We've got this right here, okay? And this is for the battery connector. Secure the battery. It's in there. It's nice and tight. Make sure it's nice and tight, okay? And then just go ahead and start to put this back, okay? Okay, so in the interest of time, we're just going to go ahead and fast forward through this part a little bit. I mean, basically it's the same thing that I've already gone through. When you saw me take the phone apart, it's just me basically doing everything in reverse order, placing the screws, the two screws, back onto the plate that secures the battery connector, okay? Very simple, all right? Just make sure that the battery connector is on securely before you put the plate back on. Put the two screws back on, and basically you're good to go. So there's no issues here at all. Like I said, it's very, very simple to put these back on. Just make sure that the screws are tightened. Don't over tighten. Make sure that the screws are tightened onto the plate, so you can be sure that the connection is secure and won't pop out, okay? So that takes care of that. And of course, now when you put the glass back on the phone, don't forget about those little tabs, okay? The two little tabs I told you about. Up on the very, very top of the phone, too, there's a little metal ridge. You know, make sure that you get those tabs underneath that ridge. So place that when
when you're ready to actually secure the glass back onto the phone, make sure that you have those little plastic tabs below the metal ridge on the chassis of the phone. Okay, so with that being said, now the next thing would be to place the connectors. There are 4 connectors, okay, back onto the logic board. There is one thing that can happen, and you have to really be careful about this too, is not to pull the cover too far back or to pull the glass too far back, okay? Otherwise you could compromise or actually damage the connection. Um, uh, the cable that connects the LCD onto the connectors, that could be damaged. If you crack it or break it in any way, then you might need a new glass, okay? And that could be expensive, and you certainly don't want to do that. So be careful about that. Make sure that you secure the connectors on. You'll feel a snap, or you actually will hear the connector snap on to the onto the logic board connectors. So just make sure you listen to that. If you don't get them on right, you don't get them on firmly and securely, there will be a problem, all right? And what will happen is you'll find some hazing, or you'll find these odd lines and black or white boxes on your screen if you do not get the connectors on correctly. So, and you will actually see that happen in this video here in just a few minutes. So it's just to forewarn you about making sure you get those connectors on tightly, otherwise you will see what happens. Okay, so again, there are these screws. There's the 2 on the outside, there's 1 in the middle. Okay, and so just make sure that you get those on tightly, and they're basically all the same screws. Like I said, there is 1 screw, the outside screw on the right hand side. Up on the top there, it's a longer screw, and I mentioned that too when I was taking everything apart. So just make sure that you get the screws in the right place. Again, like I said, I mentioned before, I really do recommend making sure that you put the screws in order, okay, on a piece of paper or something like that, so there's no guesswork in regards to what screw goes where. It's just really, really simple. And again, right here, this is the screw that's a little bit longer, okay, and so just make sure that you get that in place, and you should be all good to go. But again, like I said, it's really good if you actually do organize yourself well and put all the screws in order. So like I said, so putting the screws back should be a snap. Okay,
There it is. Okay, so now it's all back in. Like I said, so you have you'll be placing this screw, or sorry, this screw, this screw, this screw, this screw, and this is the longer screw right here, as well as replacing these 2 screws here. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now what you want to do is, before you actually put everything back together, let's just go ahead and start the phone. Let's just see if it works. If you don't want to put it all back together and then have like white lines in the display or something like that, and if you do, then there might be a problem with the phone. So here, now there's another thing too that I have to go ahead and tell you. Hold on just a second here. That the battery I have, there's a possibility that it might not have any charge in it at all. It's possible that the battery is completely discharged. I'm really not sure. We'll find out. Okay, so you see what we have here? White lines. Hold on a second. See white lines? You know what that means? That means that the device itself, what's happened is that the connectors aren't on correctly. So, so what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take this off again. One of the connectors might not be on correctly, and then we'll go ahead and come back and see if I can get the connectors on correctly. One might not be on correctly. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll be right back. Alright everybody, so here now we're back, okay, and so let me just tell you what happened here. I had to take this the plate off again, and one of the attachments, or one of the connectors that went to the LCD was not seated properly. when I actually seated the connector, I pushed it down. Usually what you'll do is you hear like a little snap, like a little snap sound, to know that it's properly seated. And when I put the LCD connector on, I guess I didn't hear the snap, and so when I took this little plate off and I pulled back the screen, it popped off. And so it didn't pop off, it just sort of came off, and so I did not have it secured down properly, and so it wasn't connected tight. Okay, didn't have a secure connection, and so that's the reason why you saw all of the white lines on the front. Okay, so I went ahead and popped it back in, snapped it back in, and then I put the screen or the metal guard back on, okay, and secured all the screws. Like I said, this screw here, this screw here, this screw here, this screw here, and this screw here. Okay, so anyway, let's go and see what happens now. It should work now. Like I said, you saw what it looked like when I turned it on. It had all that white shadows and boxes and all those white lines and whatnot. That is a clear indication that something's not connected right. Okay, that's the reason why you want to make sure you do a test before you secure everything back together. Okay, so anyway, let's go and see what happens now. So let me go ahead and just put this back in here a little bit, and let's see what we got. So let me go and put on the connector. Let's see if we have white boxes or hazing or whatever on the phone now. Let's see here what happens. Okay, so there it is now. You see that? It's showing here that the battery is charging, and there you go. Okay, so now all those squares and white lines and all that stuff, it's gone. Okay, so that means that now I have the phone connected correctly to the connections onto the logic board. Okay, so there it is. I'm just going to wait until see if it goes onto the home screen. Okay, I'm feeling some vibration, and I also want to check as well, and so something you should also do to make sure that the touchpad on the screen is working properly. So let's see what happens here. Let me just go ahead and turn this off. Let's see here. Let's go and turn this off. Let's see if I can turn it off. See if the slide works. Let's see if the slide works. So we want to check. And there it goes. So it does work. Okay, so that was it. Okay, just another thing to tell you. You know, you never know. Sometimes you gotta make sure you check these things just in case to make sure that you have a good connection with all of your with your screen, okay, and the logic board. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and put this back together here again. I told you that little tab, you see right there, the little tab, right, these two little tabs right here, they need to go underneath, okay, the ledge of the chassis. So let's go ahead and put that in. Let's go ahead and just drop that in so it's tight. There it is, like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is just basically go ahead and close the phone down. Okay, it should, there it goes. You'll hear it snap. Okay, it should just snap down, and pretty simple. There it is, just snaps right down like that. Okay, you're good to go there. And then what you want to do is go ahead and just take off the screw head so I can put the pentalobe screws back on. Just go and do that now. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's let me tell you, these little screws are very hard to get into the end of the but if you have, like me, I have a little magnetic tip on my screw head, which makes it easy just to get it right back on. Okay, just go ahead and tighten that up like that. Okay, and of course get your other one as well. Go ahead and get that all tightened up as well. And basically, that's basically the whole thing. Okay, it really is not a difficult process. One good thing about this video is it shows you the things that can go wrong. I also showed you the improper installation of the battery. Okay, before that resulted in this this mess here. Okay, and of course this is the other battery I took out, but you know, like I said, this is what you want to try to avoid right here. Okay, so that's how it's done. I showed you about, well, this is the ones that I used here already, but this is another pack that I have of the actual adhesive that goes on the back of the battery. And there are other ways to actually attach the battery onto the phone, but if you want to do it right, you want to go ahead and get these little stickums, okay, this adhesive, okay, which is the proper one, the actual, ones that go onto the phone, and as I showed you, allows it easy removal of the adhesive as well as the battery. So, okay, guys, that's it. Other than that, everything's good to go, okay. We have a phone that's working. Only thing is that the battery that I actually got doesn't have any charge to it. So other than that, we're all set to go. Now that is how you do a replacement on an iPhone 6 as well as an iPhone 6 Plus. So there's really no difference at all in it. I hope you found this video helpful. And like I said, it wasn't an absolute perfect setup, okay, or actual installation, because there were some quirks, there were some problems with it, there were some issues, and these are the things that if you do replace a phone, these are the things that you can also note, okay. And if you do find lines, if you do find batteries that are installed incorrectly or whatever, I showed you how to install it correctly, as well as to troubleshoot. Like I said, if you try to after you do the installation, and if you have a problem with the white lines or whatever on the screen, that probably indicates that you have a problem with the connections from the LCD to the phone, and to make those corrections before you actually put the phone back together like I just did. So okay guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Take care, and subscribe to my channel if you like. Again, this is Jim from the Gadget Fanatic. Hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. As you can see right here, this is a mess in regards to the screen protector. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I got something called the hinge method that actually gets screen protectors on quite quickly, quite easily, and gets them all in line, so you don't have to actually put it on. It's like, oh, I messed up, it's not actually aligned correctly, and have to go ahead and take it all off. Then you have bubble issues, and it's a big mess. So anyway, I'll go ahead and produce a video showing you how that's done, probably in the next one. All right, thanks guys, take care of yourself, and like I said, I hope you have a great day, and hope to catch you in the next one. All right, bye bye now.